Before she saw me, I saw Alina, my wife, the woman with whom I had shared a bed for 9 years, the same woman who sat across from another man and knew how he liked his coffee, probably even the rhythm of his heartbeat. Despite the fact that he clearly wasn't her sister, the excuse she'd given, she looked stunning, deadly. She had that glow, the kind people wear when they know they're being adored. Her hair was curled, but not the everyday kind. No, this was the kind she reserved for special moments. Her full smile, deepened by that crimson lipstick I used to praise, pulled me in, like it used to, and then pushed me out just as quickly. I wasn't there when she laughed, but her voice echoed through the low murmur of the restaurant like a scene out of a romance film. She leaned forward slightly, tilting her head toward him, a move I recognized, and I had all the confirmation I ever needed. Then I saw it. Her hand. His hand. Meeting halfway across the table. Intimate. Casual. Like they'd done it 100 times before. I sat still. My fingers clenched tightly, a reflex I hadn't felt in months. Maybe longer. That silence. The kind that comes before a storm. A waiter approached my table. "Sir, are you ready to order?" I shook my head, calm but clear. I didn't come here to eat. I reached into my wallet discreetly and pulled out a small, folded note, one I'd written in the elevator on the way down from my office. The handwriting was neat, measured. I'd rewritten it 4 times before settling on the exact words. "Just 15 of them is enough," I murmured. "And deliver it to her. Only her, not the man. Just her." He raised an eyebrow, then noticed the crisp $20 tucked underneath the note. A little curious, maybe, but he didn't ask questions. The best waiters never do. He nodded once and walked away. From my table, shaded just right by the soft glow of Edison bulbs, I could see everything. The way she sipped her wine, the way she swirled it, soft jazz, played above me, just loud enough to cover the thud of my heartbeat. She looked like a Sammy, one of those rare women with presence. He leaned in to whisper something, and she laughed. Loud, free. That laugh used to be mine. Maybe I imagined it, but I remembered the phone call that afternoon. I was at my desk finishing a report when I decided to check in. Nothing unusual. "Hey, babe," she said on the 3rd ring. "I'm heading to Serena's for girls' night. We're gonna switch off our phones and binge trashy reality TV." She laughed. I told her to have fun and said hello to Serena. She paused, just for a second, then added, "We'll do just that." But less than an hour later, Serena texted me. "Hey, is Alina coming over tonight? I wanted to show her this new recipe I've been working on." I hadn't replied. I hadn't asked questions. Alina used to rave about this restaurant, the one we hadn't visited in years, and somehow I ended up here, driving without direction. The waiter stepped up to their table like a performer stepping onto a stage. He placed the folded note onto a small silver plate, a delivery, dressed as an amuse-bouche. Her fingers stretched out, curious. She unfolded the note. I watched her face. It started with a blink, then a twitch of her brow, then her lips parted, her eyes widened, and all the color drained from her face. Flirtation vanished in an instant. What replaced it was the kind of transformation you only see in theater. She looked like she'd seen a ghost, and maybe, in a twisted way, she had. Her head turned. She scanned the room. Fast, erratic, she looked everywhere but at me. Then finally, her eyes stopped. I raised my glass, ever so slightly. No smile, no flinch, just the truth. She stood up so quickly her chair screeched across the floor. People turned, eyes locked onto the sudden disruption. Her date reached for her arm, but she pulled away, lips trembling, eyes wide. She mouthed my name. but no sound came out. It was a silent plea, a prayer thrown across linen and candlelight. But I was already rising. I left my water glass untouched, gave the waiter a nod, left a generous tip, and walked out, steady, unbothered. Let them wonder. Let them drown in that silence. Outside, the night air cooled my face. I exhaled for the first time in what felt like hours. No need for a scene. 15 words had already been said. 15 little truths wrapped in ink. Enjoy your dinner. That was one of them. It meant more than any argument ever could. Let him guess what detonated at their table. Let her choke on the stillness. As for me, I had plans. This was just the beginning. That morning had been too normal, too calm. And now I realize it should have been obvious. Alina, standing barefoot in the kitchen, sipping green tea in that gray robe I bought her 2 birthdays ago. The smell of mint and lemon hung between us. She kissed my cheek gently. Ghana. Be off the grid today, she said. Girls' night. Serena's. She even smiled. That small, distracted smile she wore when she was hiding something. And I? I just nodded. Tell her I said hang in there, I muttered. She turned back to her coffee, robe swaying like silk. The lie, smooth as air. By noon, I was knee-deep in meetings, planning, spreadsheets, end-of-month chaos. At 1:47 p.m., my phone buzzed. Serena. Hey, Marcus, she said. Just wondering if Alina can talk tonight. Wanted to ask about the lasagna recipe she promised me. I stared at the screen too long. She's with you, isn't she? I typed. The pause was telling. A fracture becoming. A canyon. I haven't seen her in weeks. That was all Serena wrote. And just like that, my stomach dropped. The ground beneath my normal life began to split. I didn't call Alina, didn't text her, didn't ask questions. Instead, I drove. Through honking horns and glowing tail lights, until I found myself in front of this restaurant. The one she used to call her ideal date spot. I hadn't thought of it in years, but suddenly I couldn't think of anything else. Before I stepped inside, I wrote those 15 words on the back of a gas receipt. No rage, no demands, just a mirror. A reflection she couldn't avoid. 20 minutes later, a silver rideshare pulled up. She stepped out in that emerald green dress. The one she once said made her feel dangerous. I told her once, "You look like the kind of woman men lose. Money over." I guess I was right. The man beside her wore a tailored suit, a Rolex,